Welcome into PFF TV. I'm Sam Monson, and coming out of Thursday Night Football, it's a chance to dive in to Premium Stats version 2.0, all part of your PFF Elite package, to figure out how this game went down. As you can see here, grades are available. That flashes up every time a game hits the website live. You'll be able to dive into all of these reports. Every time you click one of these things, 14 separate reports to dive into each specific team in each game, plus a whole host of extra stuff in Premium Stats 2.0. 45-10, as you can see from the score, this is not going to be pretty for certain areas of the ball. Let's first dive up here. The offensive summary, I think, tells the story of this game. As we see here, this is Denver's offensive summary. Emmanuel Sanders, the best graded player of the game. Philip Lindsay up here, Case Keenum, the offensive line. These are a lot of green grades. This color coding system and PFF's grading lets you see at a quick glance exactly how things went. A lot of green, a little bit of yellow, some orange down the bottom. If we contrast that with the Arizona Cardinals, where we basically have David Johnson up here on his own in green, and everybody else some shade of yellow, orange, a little bit of light green in there. Basically, the Cardinals on offense nowhere near the match of their Denver counterparts, and that's exactly what you would expect for a team that got absolutely blown out of this game. What's concerning is that all the positions down the bottom, all this ugly orange poor grading, we've got the right guard, we've got the quarterback, we've got receivers, we've got important players on offense all grading badly, and that's why you see some of that. You see exactly the same thing, really, on the defensive summary. First thing to note, I think, is Von Miller back this week. He'd had a run of 3 or so poor games by his standards, really hadn't shown up. Absolutely dominant in this game. 90.9 pass rushing grade, 91.3 overall, 10 total pressures, leads the team in total pressures by a monster factor. The next highest guy had 3, so Von Miller absolutely on fire, but he wasn't the only guy. Look at the number of blue grades. Blue is our elite, blue chip, fantastic grades here. The Broncos team, the Broncos defense was full of them, turnovers all over the place, scores on defense. That's why this defense was graded so well, and you have to go a fair amount down the list to find anybody that wasn't grading in the green. You've only got 3 guys graded average or below, including first-round rookie Bradley Chubb. So that's unfortunate for him, but let's not focus on that. Again, if we switch to the Cardinals, it's much the same story. A lot of orange, yellow, average to poor grades, and at the top we've got Patrick Peterson, like on offense with David Johnson, the lone guy essentially getting the job done while everything else collapses around him. Coverage grade of 85.6 for Peterson, and again, that's kind of been the story for Peterson all season long. We dive into this report, which is a breakdown of a guy's coverage versus the receivers he was tracking, or the receivers he was covering at the time. Here's Patrick Peterson up here. Basically only had to deal with Emmanuel Sanders and Courtland Sutton. 3 targets came his way all game long. Only gave up 1 catch for 3 yards. Had himself an interception. There was a dropped pass in there as well from Courtland Sutton. So a big day for Patrick Peterson again. And when you talk about that all season long, if we go up here to the by position tab, not by game like we've been looking, by position, we can scroll through all these extra ways of report, extra reports, extra ways of finding data. Let's go down here to the coverage report, hit on cornerback. We'll dial this up to a better size so we can see what we're talking about. Let's pull up a higher number of coverage snaps and then sort this by NFL passer rating given up. So this is the passer rating cornerbacks have given up when targeted in the NFL. Number 1 and number 2, it's Richard Sherman and Patrick Peterson, as ever it has been. Those 2 guys have still been fantastic this season. Peterson in particular has been significantly more targeted than Richard Sherman because he's playing more of a zone scheme this season. 28 passes have come his way. He's allowed just 16 catches for 134 yards all season long, given up a passer rating of 39.9, which is just a fraction above the passer rating of just throwing the ball into the dirt every single play. So Patrick Peterson, again, has been playing fantastically this season in a zone scheme that they're employing this year. He may actually be better than he's ever been, or at least on track for some statistical milestones this season. And we saw that in that game last night. Patrick Peterson was fantastic. The rest of the Cardinals, not so much. So that's the story of this game in Premium Stats 2.0. You can dive into that level of detail on any single game you want. They'll all be flying up once the games get graded, once they get evaluated, reviewed. Hit the site, fire up your Premium Stats 2.0, all part of your PFF Elite package. Hit the like and the subscribe button on this video and check out all the rest of our YouTube content.